A man is dragging a trunk up the loading ramp of a mover's truck. The ramp has a slope angle of 20 degrees and the man pulls upward with a force F whose direction makes an angle 30 degrees with the ramp. Letter A, how large will the component force F necessary for the component f of x parallel to the ramp be 60 newtons? Okay, so kung papansinin ninyo yung figure natin dito, it just shows that the man is pulling that box using a string or ano ba yung sabi dito? Okay, walang sinabi. So it is, or the person is trying to move the box papataas doon sa ramp using this cord, okay, or string or whatever. And then that rope is actually 30 degrees with respect to the ramp, okay? And then that ramp is also inclined at a 20-degree angle with respect now to the horizontal axis or to our horizon. Okay? And the problem here is, gaano raw kalaki yung value ng vector F natin dyan or the force that the man exerts for the box to move para maging 60 newtons yung F of X natin. Or this is actually the X component of the vector F. Okay, so kung papansinin ninyo, actually walang kinalaman dyan for the meantime yung 20 degrees na inclination dito. Okay, kasi ang pinag-uusapan lang naman natin is the vector F or the force exerted by the man with that is 30 degrees with respect to the ramp. Okay, kasi nakalagay din dito parallel to the ramp. Okay, so ibig sabihin wag nyo na munang pakialaman yan. Kapag na-analyze nyo na yung problem, number one, you have to establish your free body diagram. Okay, but for this one, since very simple pa lang naman, pwede ninyong sulatan directly yung, oops, where's my pointer? Wait lang ha, nawawala. Ayun. Yan, so dito, pwede naman tayo mag-start na as, oops, this is the force that we are analyzing. Okay, tapos sabi dyan, if it will have an x component, you will know that the x component is at this portion. Okay, and pwede nating lagyan yan ng f of x. Yung f of x na yan, meron din yung kaakibat na f of y or the y component of the vector f. Okay, pero ang tinatanong lang naman dyan sa letter A, how large will the component force F necessary for the component f of x parallel to the ramp be 60 newtons. So basically, going back to your trigonometric functions, or this is actually the application of the vectors. Kapag meron kang vector f, let's say that is the vector f, and you have an angle 30 degrees, this is the f of x, and this is f of y. So kapag hinahanap sa'yo ang value ng vector f, basically you will have the function. Ano ang function natin dyan? That is the cosine 30 degrees equal to the adjacent side f of x divided by the f or the vector f. So wait lang ha, merong nag-a-admit or nagre-request ng admission doon sa ating Google Meet. O, nawala naman siya. And so, nag-notify kasi sa akin. So, sorry for the inconvenience. Pero, hindi ko kasi nakita eh. And hindi kasi niya ginagamit yung SLU account niya, kaya kailangan niya pang mag-request ng access or ng, access dito sa Google Meet from me. So, next time, always use your Google accounts or SLU email accounts. So, going back to this one, sana tayo. Solving for the value of the force exerted by the man. So F now is equivalent to f of x divided by cosine 30 degrees. And you know that this one is given as 60 newtons divided by cosine 30 degrees. So basically, the F now, or pwede nating lagyan ng arrow sa taas para may pakita na vector talaga yung force na yan, that is equivalent to 69.28 20 newtons. Okay? So actually, ang pinapakita nyo lang dito is ano talaga yung value or ano talaga yung ine-exert nung man doon sa ating box para mag-move ito. Okay? Such that the f of x will become 60 newtons. Okay? Next question, how large will the component perpendicular to the ramp then be? Ano ba yung perpendicular na component natin dyan? That is actually the f of y or the y component. Perpendicular to the ramp kasi ito lang naman yung basis natin. Okay? Kung mapapansin ninyo kanina yung triangle natin, dinerecho ko ito as like this kasi nga wala tayong pakialam for the meantime doon sa angle na ito. Okay? You know that please know that the angle here will have something to do now with the net forces acting on the box later on. Yun nga lang, hindi naman kasi tinatanong sa problem kung ano yung net forces acting on this one, especially when the weight or the mass of the box is involved. So, hayaan nyo na lang muna itong inclination na to. Pag-usapan lang natin yung doon sa may ramp na portion. Okay, so going back to the question, how large will the component perpendicular to the ramp then be? So if this is our vector f, meron na tayong value kanina na 69.2820 newtons, and you are asked to determine the component that is perpendicular to the ramp, which is the Fy. Therefore, if this is 30 degrees, our function there or trigonometric function there is sine of the angle 30 degrees. That is equal to Fy divided by the force. Okay, so basically our Fy now is equivalent to the value of the force multiplied to the sine 30 degrees. So finally, Fy is equivalent to, i-plug in nyo na lang yung value na to, this F or this computed F earlier to that variable. Okay, so if you're going to calculate that one, we will have 34.6410 newtons. Nasundan ba? Sabihin nyo lang pag humihina na yung boses, okay? Any questions? Just open your microphones ha kapag medyo bumibilis or humihina yung voice ko. So next example. Number 2, we have a man that is or he is pushing a piano with a mass 160 kilograms at constant velocity up a ramp that is inclined. Its inclination is 36.9 degrees above the horizontal. The coefficient of friction or coefficient of kinetic friction to be exact is 0.2. So yung coefficient of kinetic friction na yan is of course between the surfaces of the box and ano ba yung gamit dyan? Yung ramp or the inclined surface. If the force applied by the man is parallel to the incline, calculate the magnitude of this force. Okay, so yung analysis natin dyan now has something to do again with an inclination. Okay, so kapag may mga ganito na conditions, you follow the inclination na ibinigay. Okay? This is actually for your convenience later on kapag magsosolve na kayo ng mga net forces. Okay? So, using a free body diagram, okay? Again, yung free body diagram natin yan ay napaka-importante pagdating sa mga subjects na physics, statics, and dynamics. Okay? So, tandaan niyo later on, lagi kayong maglagay ng free body diagram. Okay? For our free body diagram, you have to isolate the object that is in question. Like for this one, yung piano. Okay? So, yung piano raw dito is this blue object. Okay? And that blue object could be placed in our origin. Okay? And after that, you have to analyze all of the forces affecting it or all of the forces that causes its motion. Ano ba yung pinaka-obvious na force dyan? Number 1, ang mga objects natin kapag hindi nina-neglect yung weight nila or let's say their masses, then ibig sabihin kina-consider sila doon sa analysis. And that is the force of gravity is always directed downwards, that will always be emerging from the center of gravity of the object. So this is the first vector, yung yellow na pababa. Okay, and then next vector is, since nagmo-move yung ano ba yan, yung piano natin, and that motion or that movement is due to the force exerted by the man. So, ibig sabihin, you have to place there the applied force, this one, at this portion. Okay? Kaya inilagay ko ito dito sa my positive x-axis because you just have to show some directions. Okay? Kahit naman ilagay natin yan dito, let's say, from this and then mag-end ka doon, parehas lang din naman yung sinasabi nun na force. Okay? But it would be better if you are going to do it in this manner. Next obvious na force dyan, or the force that affects our piano, is actually the frictional force. Yung frictional force, kapag hindi sinabi sa problem na in-neglect, then you always have to place it there. And kaya alam natin na hindi nine-neglect yan kasi nakalagay na yung coefficient of kinetic friction dito sa problem. Excuse me. Okay, so the frictional force is this one. It is going to the left direction, or it is actually opposing the motion of the box. Kasi yung motion ng box natin papataas doon sa ramp. And finally, since merong contact yung ating ramp and the box, or this one is actually a piano, then we will always have a normal force. Again, the normal force is always perpendicular to the contact surface. Okay, so ito yung normal force natin. Okay, now it would be helpful if you are going to label your free body diagram. So don't worry, dito lang tayo sa start na magiging medyo mabagal sa paggawa ng free body diagrams para lang masundan ninyo yung parts or syempre yung process ng paggawa at paggamit nito. But later on, masasanay naman na kayo, medyo magagamay nyo na yan. Okay? So kapag ganito, lagyan ninyo ng label yung mga axis ninyo such that this axis is the x-axis pa rin. Okay? And then this one is of course the y-axis. Okay? Yun nga lang, saan natin gagamitin yung 36.9 degrees na yan? It is actually the inclination that we have created for the Cartesian plane. Okay? Itinilt din natin ito ng 36.9 degrees. Okay? And then later on, hindi na ilagay. Okay, so don't worry, explain ko naman dito. Later on, since meron na tayong vectors na weight, frictional force, normal force, and the applied force, all you have to do now is to apply your, or let's say, the summation of forces. You have to obtain or analyze the summation of forces sa x-axis and summation of forces doon naman sa y-axis. Okay, i-label ko lang ulit. This is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. Okay? Yun nga lang kung papansinin ninyo, yung isang force dyan, the weight, or I have placed there the F of G, it is actually not directly kumbaga drawn in our x-axis, neither in our y-axis. That is why you have to do something para meron tayong representation ng weight na ito in our x-axis as well as y-axis. That is why we use components. Okay? Kung babalik tayo sa components, of course, you have to break it down, this weight or the F of G, force due to gravity, using these components in X and components in Y. So, paano mo gagawin yan? Using the inclination. Okay? Di ba meron tayong tawag dito? Yes, degree of inclination or nagkaroon kasi ng slope yung mismong Cartesian plane natin. Okay? And then, if you are going to create a right triangle at this portion, okay, this one, the x, or let's say the horizontal axis, and this one being the vertical axis, you will know that the remaining angle here is 180 minus 36.9 minus 90 degrees. That is why nakapag-produce tayo ng angle na 53.1 degrees. Okay? And using that 53.1 degrees, you use now your weight. Okay? Yung weight natin, kapag i-breakdown mo yan into its components, you have to draw. Siyempre, sundan natin yung existing na. Or ba tayo na? Yung existing na... Tayo magsulat. Wait lang ha. Ilipat ko lang yung aking drawing. Okay, dito sa portion na to. So, let's say this is the weight and sa portion na to, gagawa ka ng X component. Okay? Kasi syempre, pababa yung ating mismong force. And nasan ang kanyang Y component? Nandito naman sa portion na to. Okay? And the included angle there is the angle that we have created, 53.1 degrees. Okay, actually, discarded nyo yan pagdating sa trigonometric na concepts, pero pare-parehas lang naman yung lalabas dyan. Kahit naman gamitin yung 36.9, basta tama yung functions na gagamitin ninyo. Okay, and using these principles now, the components pala of our weight ng piano, okay? You are now going to create, or let's say establish the values of the x component of y and y component of x component of the weight and the y component of the weight. So using this, we have Wx now is equivalent to, you have an included angle and given yung weight dito, so ibig sabihin you have the weight cosine 53.1 degrees. And then the other one, this is y component of the weight. This is opposite. Okay, sorry, mali yung label. Yung y component natin is this one. Okay, kaya lang ako naglagay doon kasi pwede rin nyo namang ilagay din yung y component sa portion na to. Parehas lang yan. Okay, ang magiging difference lang dyan is the angle here. Okay, so going back to this original one, ang y component ng w natin ay the weight itself multiplied to the sine of the 53.1 degrees. Okay? Yung mga pag-establish ng components na to, sobrang useful pagdating ng statics. Kaya dapat ngayon pa lang, kabisado nyo na kung paano mag-breakdown ng mga forces into their corresponding components, especially when angles are included, okay? Or mga inclinations such as these, okay? So, nasaan na yung analysis natin? We have already broken down all of the forces na meron sa ating x-axis as well sa y-axis. Therefore, we proceed with the computation. So, balikan ko lang saglit yung question. Ang tanong dito is, if the force applied by the man is parallel to the incline, so ito yung force applied, you have to calculate the magnitude of the force. Okay? So, hanapin lang pala natin yung value ng F of A. Malit ba yung sulat? Sabihin nyo lang, ha? Ay, parang ano. Let me just change my ink color. Yan, baka sakaling ano. Okay, so going back to the computation, we are looking for the magnitude of the applied force by the man. Okay, first step, of course, yung free body diagram. Next step is to determine the summation of forces sa mga axis natin. Let's start with the summation of forces sa x-axis. Kung papansinin ninyo, ang summation of forces natin sa x-axis is, according to Newton's law, that will be equal to, anyone? Sumasagot? So anyway, kapag ganito kasi na mag-a-analyze ka ng problem, you have to look at the problem itself. Nakalagay dyan, constant velocity. Kapag itong mga to, constant velocity, ibig sabihin, constantly moving lang yung ating object. Walang acceleration. 'Di ba? According to Newton's first law, an object that is, let's say, at rest will remain at rest unless an unbalanced force is acting upon it. Okay? And ganun din naman kapag ang object daw ay constantly moving, it will continue to move unless meron tayong inilagay na unbalanced force. Okay? Ang ibig sabihin niyan, lahat ng forces or the summation of forces, let's say, sa x-axis will be equal to 0. Okay? Kasi balance lahat. Okay? Meaning to say, nilagay ko lang dyan na x-axis because we are dealing with the motion here. Okay? Pero syempre, pwede rin naman yan sa y-axis provided that the object is constantly moving at y-axis. Kunwari yun yung na-establish na axis doon. So, going back to this one. Okay. So, ibig sabihin pala, since constantly moving yung object natin dito, you have to establish it as the summation of forces sa ating x-axis is equal to 0. And also, if you are going to list all of the forces acting on the x-axis, we have the following. Starting with yung mga nandito sa left, going to the left means negative. So, starting with negative frictional force, tapos ano pang meron? Yung negative component ng, negative x component ng weight. So, negative Wx. What else? We have positive applied force. Okay? So, if this now is equal to 0, 0 equivalent to negative frictional force minus Wx plus applied force, ibig sabihin pala ang applied force natin can be computed as this is transpose sa kabila, frictional force plus the x component of the weight. Okay? Masosolve ba natin yung x component ng weight? Yes, because the mass is given, we have the gravitational acceleration. What about the frictional force? Kapag frictional force, kung babalikan ninyo yung formula ni SpongeBob, the fun. Bakit ayaw na magsalat ay? Fun, F equivalent to U times N. Or kapag ganito, frictional force, equivalent yan sa mu, or yan yung coefficient of friction natin, multiplied to the normal force. Okay? Ay, hindi na makita dyan. Lagay ko dito sa tasa. Again, fun, meaning frictional force equal to the product of the mu or the coefficient of friction multiplied to sige, normal force. Okay? And what coefficient will be using? Gagamit tayo ng kinetic. Kasi nagmo-move ito. Hindi naman sinabi na at the start or yung kapag static pa yung ino-overcome natin na friction. Okay? So, if you are going to establish that here, or let's say plug in natin yung relation na yan, ang applied force pala natin ay equivalent sa mu k or coefficient of friction or kinetic friction multiplied to the normal force plus the x component of the weight. Okay? And then after that, identifying the values again. Meron tayong mu or meron tayong coefficient of kinetic friction. Meron na ba tayong normal force? Wala pa. Meron tayong x component of the weight. Okay, identifying the normal force. Saan natin makukuhang normal force? Nasa y-axis. Pagdating sa y-axis, you have to analyze the forces there as well using the summation of forces. And ano ang magiging summation of forces dyan? Magiging equal din yan sa 0. Why? Because yung piano natin nagmo-move constantly dito sa x-axis. Ibig sabihin, wala itong movement papataas, wala rin itong movement pababa. Hindi naman yun tumal or hindi naman siguro lumubog yung box natin. Ibig sabihin, the forces present are actually balanced. Okay? Meaning to say, if we are going to obtain all of the forces sa ating y-axis, meron tayong yung papataas, positive, normal force, and then yung nasa baba, which is the y component of the, tawag dito, weight, we have negative wy. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, ang normal force pala ay equivalent lang sa y component ng weight natin or weight ng piano. So, ibig sabihin, ang normal force na ay yung value dito. Okay? So, plugging in this equation doon sa unknown natin kanina na f of n, the applied force now is equivalent to, idediretso ko na yung values, the mu, or let's say the coefficient of kinetic friction is given as 0.2. The f of n, yung establish natin dito sa baba, equal yan sa wy. Or yun yung y component ng weight. Weight is, according to the formula, ang weight ay force due to gravity. Okay? And force is equivalent to mass times acceleration. So, ibig sabihin, ito ay mass ng object multiplied to the acceleration. Okay? Or acceleration due to gravity. So, ilagay na natin dyan lahat. The weight now, ano ulit yung weight ng piano? 160 kilograms. And then, the gravitational acceleration, of course, 9.81 meters per second squared. Yun na yung W. And then we still have to place there the sine 53, 53.1 degrees. Okay, so nandun pa lang tayo sa WY. Okay, and finally, you still have to add yung value naman ng WX. Ang WX natin ay, again, in terms of the weight. So, pwede actually nating ilagay dapat na 160 multiplied to 9.81. Pwede nyo namang i-separate yung computation and then you plug it in here. Pero okay lang din kung idediretso nyo yan as 160 multiplied to 9.81 and further multiplied to cosine 53.1 degrees. Okay? Nasundan ba yon? Sorry. Punta ako dyan sa Meet. Any questions? Any questions? Yung part na yon medyo mahaba-haba lang kasi kailangan detailed yung pag-explain ko and also kailangan makita ninyo kung saan nanggagaling yung mga values. Okay? But later on, kapag, sabi ko nga, kapag nagamay na ninyo yung paggawa or paggamit ng free body diagram and breaking down forces or any vector quantities into their components, then madali na lang i-analyze. Okay? So again, step number 1, free body diagram. Tapos, tingnan ninyo yung motion nung object na pinag-uusapan. Okay? Diba sabi natin kapag meron tayong two-dimensional motions, okay? Meron tayong x-axis and then y-axis. The x motion will not affect the y motion and vice versa. Okay? So, kailangan nyo lang naman na intindihin talaga sila. Okay? Any questions so far? Walang nagchat-chat? Walang nag-open ng microphone? Magtatawag ba ako ng pangalan? None. Okay. So, at least klaro tayo doon ha. Tapos, sabihin nyo lang kung may magulong part or something para ayusin natin. So, going back to the PowerPoint. So, finally, ayan. Finally, computing for Di ba may mga calculators naman kayo dyan? Pwede ninyong i-verify yung final answer natin. Computing for the applied force by the man. Simplifying this one, since naka-force naman tayo dyan and all of the units are in kilograms and meters per second squared, mag-expect tayo na ang force natin, lagay ko dito sa taas, ang applied force natin ay may units na newtons. Okay? That's in kilograms multiplied to meters per second squared. So finally, computing for f of a, that is equivalent to 1,193.4566 newtons. Okay, sabihin nyo lang kung magkaiba tayo ng answers. Okay? Yun yung first question, tama ba? Calculate the magnitude of this force. Oh, ayun na pala, na sagot na yung mismong known. Okay? Next example. Two crates connected by a rope lie on a horizontal surface. The crate A has a mass of 100 kilograms and crate B a mass of 150 kilograms as shown. So the kinetic or the coefficient of kinetic friction there is 0.4. So yung kinetic friction na yan is again between the surfaces nung box at saka nung floor na dadaanan nila. The crates are pulled to the right at constant velocity by a horizontal force P. I'm so sorry for that. Okay? So again, constant velocity by a horizontal force P. Ngayon, tinatanong dito is you have to compute for the magnitude of the force P, tapos kung ano daw yung value ng tension doon sa rope connecting the blocks. Okay, so kung matatandaan ninyo yung tension natin, that is an example of force. Okay, tension force, tensional force. Basta ang tension ay laging pulling ang kanyang manner, okay, of doing it. Okay? At tapos gumagamit din ito ng mga ropes, wires, and so on. Okay. So first step is kapag naintindihan nyo na yung problem or kapag binasa nyo na yung problem, you have to create your free body diagram. Yung free body diagram natin, since normal naman ito na naka-rest lang dun sa floor, then ganito lang yung Cartesian plane natin. Number one, or yung pinaka-obvious na force that affects the crate A is its weight. Okay, kung matatandaan ninyo, sabi ko yung free body diagram natin, ang mga free body diagram ay nagva-vary depende sa object na pinag-uusapan natin. Kunwari, crate A lang yung point of analysis natin, then the free body diagram of A will be different from this one. Kasi syempre, hindi naman sila palaging parehas ng conditions. Okay? So, A now, or going back to the free body diagram of A, the most obvious force there is the force due to gravity or yung kanyang weight. Kasi binigyan tayo ng mass. Also, we have the normal force. Normal force kasi it is in contact with, or the box is in contact with the floor. Also, since hinihila yan ng a rope na connected sa B and the B is connected to a force P, then meron tayong tinatawag na tension force dito sa portion na to. Okay? And since coefficient of kinetic friction is mentioned, therefore hindi natin inineglect yung effect ng friction dito. Meaning to say, you still have to place the frictional force sa ating free body diagram. Okay, and for the free body diagram of the crate B, medyo parehas sila kasi wala namang inclination or something. Yun nga lang, pagdating sa, di ba, meron din itong weight, merong normal force. Pagdating dito sa portion na to, yung force na ilalagay mo dyan is already the P. Okay, kasi yun yung mismong nakadikit doon sa force P. And then finally, meron pa rin tayong frictional force kasi syempre nakadikit din yan sa floor. And last one is you have to place there the other side of, let's say, the tension. Okay? Kasi syempre, connected pa rin yung rope doon sa B. Ibig sabihin, apektado ito ng tension force. So, ilalagay din natin dyan yung F of T or the tension force itself. Okay? So, medyo step by step, pero you'll get used to it. So, summarizing the free body diagram for crate A and crate B, eto sila. And then, after that, sagutin na natin yung problem. Ano ba yung tanong? Magnitude ng force P and then value or magnitude din ng tension sa rope na nagko-connect doon sa blocks. Okay, so we're done with step A. So we proceed with step B. Yung step B natin is to analyze it using the forces in our free body diagram. So i-emphasize ko lang ulit na meron tayong terms dito, ito, at a constant velocity. Okay? So sabi nga natin kanina, kapag constant velocity, ibig sabihin, it is under the first law or Newton's first law that the forces acting doon sa axis na yan ay equal sa zero or kumbaga balanced lahat. Okay? So ibig sabihin, if you are going to summarize the forces acting on our x-axis, let's say this is x-axis and y-axis. The summation of forces in x-axis will give you, we have the tension force na papunta sa right, so positive Ft, and a negative frictional force. Okay, so if this is now equal to 0, F of T minus F of F, ibig sabihin parehas sila ng magnitude. Okay, and then, mako-compute na ba natin to? Establishing this frictional force in terms of normal force. Okay, ano ba yung formula natin? Tandaan nyo lang sa SpongeBob, fun. So we have mu of kinetic friction or coefficient of kinetic friction multiplied to the normal force. Okay? Saan manggagaling si normal force? Nasa y-axis yan. So, analyzing the y-axis, summation of forces sa y-axis ay also, kunwari ito yung box natin, yun yung particle natin, equal din yan sa zero because there is no motion going upwards or going downwards. Ibig sabihin, summarizing the forces in our y-axis, we have positive normal force and a negative, lagay ko na lang weight. Okay? Pwede namang F of G kung okay lang sa inyo or kung nasanay kayo, okay lang. Basta huwag kayong mako-confuse dito kapag ang pag-uusapan na is weight or kapag mga units. Okay? So medyo may mga pare-parehas kasi tayong notations. Anyway, if this is now equal to 0, f of n minus the weight. Or basically, f of n or the normal force is equal to the magnitude of the weight. Given that the weight is equal to mass times gravitational acceleration. Siyempre, yung mass dito, mass ng crate A. Okay, so meron na tayong f of n in terms of mass and gravitational acceleration. I-plug in natin yan dito sa unknown na f of n. So therefore, tension force is equivalent to mu k, coefficient of kinetic friction, multiplied to f of n, which is mass of the crate A, and multiplied to gravitational acceleration. So ano yung mu k natin dyan? Or coefficient, that is 0.4. The mass of the crate A is 100 kilograms and the gravitational acceleration, of course, is 9.81 meters per second squared. So kilograms multiplied to meters per second squared, naka-newtons pa rin tayo. So F of T now is equal to 392.4 newtons. Okay? Since nasa tanong naman yan, i-box na natin. Nasundan? Sumasagot. So, sige. Sagot lang kayo ha para alam ko kung mag-proceed ako or I will entertain questions. So, next, Dito sa free body diagram ng B, ang makukuha naman natin dito is the value of the P, or kung gaano raw kalakas yung force P na ina-apply dyan para mag-move yung dalawang boxes natin at a constant velocity. So, starting with, or lagay natin dito at crate B. Ito at A. Yan. Para lang organized and alam ninyo yung ina-analyze sa portion na to. So, at B, also you have to analyze the summation of forces. Sa start tayo, x-axis din. Sa x-axis, constant velocity, so equal to 0. So if that is 0, you have to gather all of the forces present. Ano yung forces present dyan? Negative frictional force, negative tension force, and positive na P. So negative tension, negative frictional force, and positive na P. So therefore, P will be solved using the addition of tension force and the frictional force. Okay? Nasundan ba? So therefore, P now is equivalent to tension force computed 392.4 newtons plus frictional force. Yung frictional force dito, syempre, sige, ilagay muna natin na mu K multiplied to F of N. Alam ninyo na ito ay frictional force. Okay, ito yon. And mu k now is still 0.4. However, f of n is not equal to the f of n dito. Okay? Why? Because they have different masses. Yung mass ng crate A ay iba sa mass ng crate B. Okay, ano ba ulit yung mass ng crate B? Ito ay 150. Okay, so ibig sabihin, kapag i-analyze mo yung forces sa y-axis ng crate B, that is also equal to 0 kasi hindi tumataas, hindi bumababa. So 0 is equal to positive normal force and negative weight ng B. So F of N is equal to mass ng B multiplied to gravitational acceleration. Or this is 150 multiplied to 9.81. Or pwede nating i-direct doon sa taas later on. So, wala akong space. Please take note that this asterisk will go dito sa taas. Okay? So, continuing the solution, meron tayong value for f of n, mu, and the tension force. So, ibig sabihin, ang P pala ay equal sa 392.4 newtons and plus the 0.4 multiplied to f of n na 150. This is kilograms. Further multiplied to 9.81 meters per second squared. Etong mass times gravitational acceleration, I repeat, yun yung normal force. Okay? And finally, the value of P is equal to 981 newtons. Nasundan ba? Chat ko lang kayo. Nasundan?
Yes po, ma'am.
O yung iba. Klaro naman yung mga pinapakita kong forces. And even for the computation, kasi syempre maliit yung sa space natin, sabihin nyo lang kung may magulong part, okay? Or kung saan nanggaling, saan napunta. Okay? Any more questions? Wala naman. So, sige. Tuloy natin. Dami pa akong prepare eh. Sabihin nyo lang kung ano yung mahirap na part or saan confusing. That is, anong item na to? Okay, tapos na tayo sa item 3. Item number 4. Now, if meron na tayong acceleration. Okay? Kung mapapansin ninyo yung tatlo na examples kanina or hindi, yung dalawa lang pala, sorry. Yung dalawang examples natin kanina, under sila ng first law of motion. Or yung sabi nga natin, an object stays at rest or an object will stay in motion basta walang mag-a-affect sa kanila na unbalanced force. Okay? And pagdating dito sa example number 4 natin, let's see kung ganun pa rin yung situation. A worker applies a constant horizontal force with magnitude 20 newtons to a box. Yung box daw ay 40 kilograms at ito ay nagre-rest on a level floor with negligible friction. Okay, so ito na yung mga instances na talagang since napakaliit kasi nung value ng friction, minsan nine-neglect na lang nila. Now, what is the acceleration of the box? Okay. Ayan, so eto, kinuha ko lang sa ating for reference, the University Physics by Young and Friedman, 13th edition. So, pagdating dito sa free diagram ng example number 4, number 1, the most obvious, again, na force dyan ay yung weight ng box. Kasi nga binigyan ka ng mass, meron at merong weight dyan. Kaya ito yon. Also, kapag meron tayong contact sa floor, at saka yung sa box, ibig sabihin may normal force. And finally, since meron tayong ina-apply na constant horizontal force na 20 newtons, this is the 20 newtons applied. Okay? So, ang tanong dyan, ano yung acceleration ng box? So, sabi dito, the box has no vertical acceleration kasi nga wala naman itong jumping motion or even, kumbaga na, bury ba yung box? Lumulubog ba? Or something? Hindi naman. That is why the net force on our y-axis is equal to 0. Nevertheless, for completeness, we have to show the vertical forces on the box. Yung normal force at saka yung weight natin or the force due to gravity. So for computation, since hindi naman na natin papakialaman yung y-axis natin, we focus on the forces acting sa x-axis. The x-axis now or the summation of forces sa x-axis is not equal to 0 now because we have acceleration. Okay? Tandaan ninyo kapag equal to 0, first law yan. Okay? Kapag not equal to 0 na, meron at meron ng acceleration or even deceleration. Okay, kaya we are going to use the concept force is equal to mass times acceleration. Okay, so using this one, since the summation of forces in our x-axis is equivalent to mass times acceleration sa x-axis, mass ito ng box. Ano yung net force natin dyan? Siyempre, isang force lang naman yung present, which is the applied force. Wala kasing, yung usual natin, wala tayong frictional force. Kaya, ito lang yung matitira. Or ito lang yung net force doon sa x-axis. Meaning to say that f of A is equal to the mass of the box multiplied to the acceleration sa x-axis. Since we're looking for the acceleration sa x-axis, this is basically force or the applied force divided by the mass of the box. So basically, ito ay 20 newtons, medyo madali pa lang to, divided by 40 kilogram mass. And syempre, kapag mag-unit check kayo, ang newtons natin ay product ng kilogram mass and meters per second squared. Dividing it by the unit of the mass, which is kilogram mass, we are left with meters per second squared. That is correct for the acceleration. So, acceleration now is equivalent to 0.5 meters per second squared. Okay, so, di ba dati yung mga nako-compute lang natin is acceleration, velocity, and time dun sa previous lessons natin. But because we are dealing now with the forces, kaya tayo nagkaroon ng acceleration ng ganito ay dahil sa force na in-apply. Okay, so yun yung correlation nila. Okay? So, syempre naman, kailangan mo ring alamin yung mga causes kung bakit nagkakaroon ng ganyan na accelerations and even velocities. Okay? So, next example. 4 p.m. na pala. So, bale, I think 3 or 4 examples na lang. And medyo madadali na lang sila. I think. So, example number 5. A block of mass, 6 kilograms resting on a horizontal surface, is connected by a cord. It is passing through a, passing over a light frictionless pulley. So, wala tayong consideration dito ng frictional force. And yung nakahang dito naman ay 4 kilograms. The coefficient of kinetic friction between the block and the horizontal surface is 0.5. So, syempre, yung may contact lang dyan is yung first na box natin. After the blocks are released, we have to find letter A, the acceleration of each block, and letter B, the tension on the cord. So, syempre, pag naintindihan nyo na yan, first things first, free body diagram. Okay? So, pangalanan muna natin yung importante ang labels. Lagyan natin to na block A and then this one is block B. Okay? So, wag kayong magsisettle sa walang label. So, for block A, this is its free body diagram. Number 1, since mass is present, it is not neglected, you have to place the weight of the block or the, what is this? Blocks pala. F of G or force due to gravity or weight. And then, since may contact sila nung horizontal surface at saka nung crate, we have normal force. We also have the tension force due to the rope ba yung gamit? We have the cord, okay, na connected doon sa crate A. And then finally, since meron tayong coefficient of kinetic friction, again, ilalagay natin si frictional force. Okay. And next is the free body diagram for crate B. Yung crate B naman natin, medyo mas simple kasi hindi ito connected or it is not in contact with any horizontal surface. So, ibig sabihin, ang iintindihin lang natin dyan is yung pinaka-obvious, yung weight or the force due to gravity and the tension force. Siyempre, connected din ito dun sa rope or this is the cord na connected kay A. Okay? So, ang tanong dyan is, ano yung acceleration ng dalawang blocks and ano yung tension doon sa cord. Okay? So, first, actually, na masosolve ninyo dyan or let's say, analysis is about the acceleration. Kapag sinabi nating acceleration ng dalawang block, since they are connected together using the cord, you will have to say that the acceleration of block A is actually equal to the acceleration of block B. Okay, so dyan pa lang, makakakuha ka na, o hindi naman, at least ma-analyze mo na kung may ma-solve ka man na acceleration sa kahit kanino sa kanila, equal na yon sa acceleration doon sa isa. The very reason there is because they are connected together. Okay, hindi naman pwedeng iba yung acceleration nito and then this one is also different. Okay, their motion is one. Okay, I mean connected pero magkaiba lang ng direction. And then for letter B, the tension on the cord. So summarizing the free body diagrams, nandito sila. And again, we use our analysis on the forces. So for block A. Okay, sa block A natin, we use the summation of forces. Again, sige, simulan naman natin sa Y. Summation of forces in our Y-axis is 0. Kasi walang jumping or walang paglubog. So, ibig sabihin, ang summation of forces natin na F of N and negative weight is equal to or equal sila sa isa't isa. Okay? And then after that, Actually, pwede mo nang i-compute naman yung ating weight as 6 since meron tayong, ano ba ang weight natin? Mass ng crate A and then gravitational acceleration. Ano ang mass ng crate A? 6 kilograms. Gravitational acceleration, 9.81 meters per second square. Okay? So, computing for that, pala na ano? We have 58.86. This is in newtons. After that, we go to the x-axis. Sa x-axis natin, parang ano lang to eh. Medyo paulit-ulit yung process, pero please be very careful with your analysis. Yung motion natin dito, papunta sa right. So, yung acceleration natin will be positive papunta sa right. Okay? Take note na ang acceleration natin kapag sinundan niya yung direction ng motion, it will always be positive. Pero kapag sinalungat ito or kumbaga inoppose niya yung motion, direction ng motion natin, then the acceleration is negative. Okay? So tandaan niya lang yan. So summation of forces in x-axis, we have negative frictional force and the tension force. Meaning to say, the tension force is equal to the value of frictional force. However, frictional force is in terms of mu k or coefficient of kinetic friction multiplied to the normal force. Okay, meron ba tayong values? We can already solve for this one. Tension force is equivalent. Ay. Oops. Yeah. You can compute for this one. Ano ang ating mu k ulit? Did I go overboard? Mu k. So na, 0.5. Okay. So, hindi pa mako-compute to. Okay, I repeat. Or let me just clarify this one. Hindi sila mag-e-equate kasi nga meron na tayong motion. Okay? Unlike dito sa ating y-axis, kaya nag-zero yan kasi nga walang papataas, walang papababa. Pero dito, gumagalaw na mismo yung crate. So, this is wrong. Let's repeat this portion. Yan. So, ang mangyayari dito, since ang summation of forces na natin sa x-axis ay hindi equal to 0, but it is actually the mass times acceleration. Or dito na papasok yung Newton's second law. So, mass of crate A multiplied to the acceleration nung crate A. Okay? Pero syempre, parehas naman yung acceleration ng A at B. So, I'll just leave it as small letter A. Okay? Hindi ko nalalagyan ng subscript. Okay? So, equating these two, we have the mass of crate A times acceleration equal to tension force minus frictional force. Okay? Or this one is, meron naman tayong mass, so that is 6 kilograms multiplied to the acceleration that is unknown, and tension force is still unknown minus the frictional force. Again, frictional force is in terms of, summarize ko na nga rin dito, frictional force ay equal sa mu k multiplied to f of n. Or mu k is 0.5 multiplied to 58.86 newtons. Therefore, frictional force ay 29.43 newtons. Okay, so ibig sabihin, naka-establish tayo dito ng isang equation with two unknowns. Going back to your algebra, if you have one equation and two unknowns, you still have to establish another equation that gives you the same unknowns para pwede mo silang i-compute simultaneously. Okay, also for this one, let's name this as equation number 1. So from that, we go on or move on to the next free body diagram, which is for B. Starting with, wala naman tayong motion sa x-axis, or there are actually no forces present. So, hayaan na natin yan. We proceed with the y or summation of forces sa y-axis. Okay? Ito, equal din sa mass times acceleration. Okay? Kasi, nagmo-move yung mismong box. And that box is, or that crate is the crate B. Okay? Yung A na yan, parehas naman dun sa A na ginamit natin dito. Yun nga lang, ang summation of forces sa y-axis natin ay f of t at f of g. So, please listen to this very carefully. Very carefully. Sabi ko kanina, you always follow the motion of the object. So, kung yung object natin, the crate B, is going downwards, ibig sabihin, ang ating acceleration ay, ano tawag dito? Ang acceleration natin ay magiging positive lang kapag susundan niya rin yung motion. Okay? So, ibig sabihin kapag sinamarize natin yung forces dito, the W now will become positive and the tension force is negative. Kasi opposite na ito ngayon doon sa mismong motion. Nasundan ba? Hello? Okay, so isulat ko na dito. Positive ang weight natin at negative naman yung tension force. Okay, it is because of the motion. The motion is going downwards and positive yung acceleration natin. Okay? Kaya magiging ganito yung equation natin. So equating these two, we have mass of the block or crate B multiplied to acceleration equal to the weight minus tension force. So if this mass of B is equivalent to 4 kilograms, and then we have A, this is equivalent to negative tension force, lagay ko lang doon, and then we have positive, ang weight naman natin dyan ay, syempre, mass times acceleration. Lagay ko na dyan, the mass times gravitational acceleration. Weight of B, mass of B. So, weight of B now ay equal sa 4 kilograms multiplied sa 9.81 meters per second squared. Or the weight of the block B is equivalent to 39.24 newtons. Okay? So, yun yung ilalagay natin dito as 39.24 newtons. Sinimplify ko lang ha. So, ibig sabihin, pwede na natin itong gamitin as equation number 2 because we followed the format of the unknowns. Nasa labas yung, or nasa kabila yung A, and then nasa loob din naman yung, or nasa kabila yung tension force na unknown. So, we have two unknowns, two equations. We can solve them simultaneously. So, 6A, we have equation number 1 plus equation number 2. Plus kasi meron tayong unknown dito. 6A equal to positive Ft, negative 29.43 newtons. And then 4A equal to negative tension force. Ayan, para mag-cancel out ito later on. Plus 39.24 newtons. Adding these two, we will have 10A equal to, this will cancel out, negative 29.43 plus 39.43, we will have 9.81 newtons. Dividing both sides by 10, we have the acceleration as 0.981 oops, that's not in newtons. Sorry. Ay. But it is in meters per second squared. Kasi yung units natin ng 10, this is actually kilograms. 'Di ba? Yan. Kaya kapag dinivide mo yung newtons ng kilograms, we will have meters per second squared. So this is now for the acceleration of both crates. Or crates ba yung gamit? Blocks pala. Okay? So gusto ko lang i-emphasize ulit na susundan ninyo yung motion ng object dito. Pababa kasi ito, yung box dito. Kaya, itong weight ang positive pagdating sa summation of forces. And the one that opposes, which is the tension force, will be negative. Nasundan? Klara tayo doon? Hello? Yes? Okay. Tandaan nyo yung mga yun kasi mahirap kapag hindi nyo na-master to and then you are going to level up in statics. Basta, mahirap. So, sige, tuloy na natin. Ang number na to. Meron pa bang solve? Acceleration, tension. And syempre, na-solve naman na natin yung acceleration and we have established actually two equations, two unknowns involving the tension. So, i-plug in nyo lang naman yung value ng, okay, palitan ko yung ink. Plug in nyo lang yung value ng A sa kahit anong equation, equation 1 or equation 2. Makaka-obtain ka ng or tension force, rather, na 35.3160 newtons. Okay, plug in nyo lang yung A sa equation 1 or equation 2. Parehas yung lalabas ng sagot. Okay, so tapusin na natin. Number 6. So, pagdating dito naman, kung mapapansin ninyo, tignan nyo lang yung given. Meron tayong distance, or this is actually a displacement, and we have time. Meaning to say that this kinetics portion, o yung pag-uusapan, ayun tag dito, yung pagsasolve natin ng forces, different forces affecting the motion of a box, involves the analysis on straight line motions as well. Okay? Or isasama na natin yung mga different quantities such as displacements, velocities, and time. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kukunin na natin yung kinematics portion at ipa-plug in natin dun sa kinetics portion. Okay? So, medyo confusing, pero basta maintindihan ninyo, madali lang yan. Okay? A free body diagram muna. A dock worker applies a constant horizontal force. So, ito yun. 80 newtons to a block. And that block of ice is on a horizontal smooth floor. The frictional force is negligible. So, wala tayong opposing force dito. The block starts from rest and moves 11 meters in 5 seconds. So let's say the block is at the origin and its initial velocity is 0 kasi it started from rest. And magmo-move daw yan ng 11 meters. Let's say hanggang dito, umabot siya ng 11 meters within, gawin din natin yung time interval na 5 seconds. Okay? And that motion, nakaabot ito ng 11 meters after 5 seconds dahil meron tayong in-apply na 80 newtons. Okay? First question, what is the mass of the block of ice? Okay? So, medyo madali lang naman to kasi, maingay na yung dog. Kasi, kailangan nyo lang isolve yung mass times acceleration natin. Tama ba? Or let's say, sige, analysis pa rin ng summation of forces. Summation of forces sa ating, meron bang, y-axis. Meron pala tayong Okay, so I forgot to place here the weight. So kapag may weight tayo dyan, meron tayong normal force. So for the summation of forces sa y-axis, since walang papataas or hindi tumatalon, hindi bumababa, meron tayong, or wala, zero ang kanilang summation of forces. Meaning to say that f of n is equal to f of g, or that is the weight itself. So ibig sabihin, ang ating why am I even solving this one? Wala pala tayong frictional force. So leave lang natin yan. Try natin yung MA, okay? Using this. The summation of forces sa x-axis. X-axis will not be equal to 0, yung summation of forces, kasi nga nagmo-move. So, ibig sabihin, gagamit tayo ng second law of motion. Mass of the block of ice and then its acceleration. So, if you have this one, solving for the mass of the block of ice, we have the applied force divided by the acceleration. Okay? Kaya in-applied force ko na yan, kasi isa lang naman yung makukuha natin using the summation of forces. Okay? Wala tayong frictional force. But applied force lang ang meron, wala pa tayong acceleration. Your acceleration now will be solved using your quantities. Diba? Kung babalikan ninyo yung formula na delta x, or this is actually the displacement, that is equal to v initial multiplied to time plus 1/2 acceleration multiplied to t squared. And given na 0 yung initial velocity natin, delta x is equivalent to 1/2 acceleration multiplied to time squared. Since meron tayong delta x na or displacement na 11 meters, meron tayong time na 5 seconds, we can compute for that acceleration. So acceleration now is equivalent to 2 multiplied to the displacement divided by t squared. Or acceleration is equal to 2 multiplied to 11 meters divided by 5 seconds and then squared. Therefore, acceleration is equivalent to 0.88 meters per second squared. Okay, so dito pa lang makakapag-solve na tayo ng mass, even without using the other part of the solution, maybe, yung summation of forces na parang ginagawa natin kanina. So, yan yung acceleration na gagamitin natin dito. Therefore, the mass of the block of ice is, that's 80 divided by yung acceleration na ito. Or, let me just use an asterisk. Or, the mass of the block of ice is equivalent to 90.9091 kilograms. Okay? So, yun na yung final answer natin. Okay, i-substitute nyo lang ito. And then after that, still have another question. Now, if the worker stops pushing at the end of 5 seconds, so di ba yun yung initial na movement natin kanina? Diba, ito, from rest, tinulak niya, umabot ito ng 11 meters within 5 seconds. Yun nga lang, after 5 seconds daw, hindi na siya nagtulak. Okay? So, how far does the block move after, or let's say, for the next 5 seconds again? So, ibig sabihin, meron na naman tayong i-analyze dito na another 5 seconds. Kaya i-expect natin na mag-move pa rin yung block of ice kasi meron tayong puwersa, kumbaga. Hindi pa naman siguro zero yung velocity. Okay? Wala namang nabanggit dyan. Also, it is on a smooth horizontal floor. So, i-expect natin na medyo mag-move pa talaga yung block of ice na yan. So, for the analysis of this one, since wala na tayong i-apply na force after the first 5 seconds, ibig sabihin, wala na tayong chance para magkaroon pa ng acceleration. Meaning to say, the acceleration after the 5 seconds ay magiging 0 na. Okay? So, kapag hindi na pala mag-accelerate from this point hanggang dyan, yung next 5 seconds natin, ibig sabihin, yung velocity natin ay magiging constant na. Or ibig sabihin, the block of ice will move equal distances over equal time intervals. Okay? So, kapag equal na yung velocity dyan, yung velocity na iti-take niya dyan is the final velocity after first 5 seconds. Okay? Since wala pa naman tayong velocity na value, we compute for this one using VI plus acceleration times time. Or ang initial velocity natin dito, di ba? Initial velocity dyan is 0 yung initial plus the acceleration computed is 0.88 meters per second squared multiplied to time na 5 seconds. So, computing for this final velocity, we have 4.4 meters per second. Okay? So, yung final velocity na yan, yung tinulak. Okay? Nung tinulak yan, umabot ng 4.4 meters per second. Tapos, binitawan na nung dock worker, pero nagmo-move pa rin ito. Ibig sabihin, ito na yung initial velocity dun sa next 5 seconds. Okay? So, if we are computing for some displacement or some distance, that the distance is equivalent to, sorry, initial velocity times time plus 1/2 acceleration multiplied to time squared. Ito yung initial velocity na ilalagay natin dito. Okay? Kasi it is the next, lagay ko na lang dito, next 5 seconds. Ito, first 5 seconds. Okay? Magkaiba sila. Pero meron silang quantities na connected. Okay? Kasi same objects lang naman yung pinag-uusapan. So, if our acceleration after or for the next 5 seconds ay 0, this will become 0. Or the displacement is basically initial velocity 4.4 meters per second multiplied to the time 5 seconds. 5 seconds na lang kasi ito lang yung pinag-uusapan natin. Okay? So, the displacement there is 22 meters. Final answer. So, kung mapapansin ninyo, the block, ito, yung block natin na, block ba yun? Oh, yes. The block actually moves farther than the first motion. Kung dito, nag-move ito ng 11 meters, dun sa sumunod, nag-move pa ito ng 22, another 22 meters. Okay? So, I think i-end ko na muna hanggang dito. Okay? Hello class. I'm back. I-end ko na lang muna doon kasi time na rin, 3 minutes na lang. And kung papansinin ninyo, meron pa akong last one example actually. So, itutuloy ko na dito, hindi ko i-end yung recording, tapos isa-send ko yung copy ng recording na to sa ating Google Class. Okay, so for announcement lang, next meeting, you will have your quiz. Okay, coverage is Newton's laws of motion. Okay, so para makapag-review kayo, you have to answer the one that is indicated in our module. Okay, so yun yung assignment number 3 sa page 64, pages 64 up until 66. Okay, so ipopost ko na lang sa Google Class para syempre meron kayong pagsasubmitan. Okay, so use that as your review. Malay nyo kumuha ako doon ng questions. And of course, yung mga diniscuss ko dito sa examples natin ngayong hapon. Okay? So, sa mga hindi nakapag-type ng names nila, pakitype na lang dito sa Google Meet portion. And if you have any more questions, magtanong na kayo ngayon. Meron ba? Meron ba? May tanong? Para i-end ko na tong ano. Or I mean,
None po, ma'am.
wala na? Okay. Oh, kaka-type nyo pa lang ng names niya. Sige. Last call. Pakitype yung names ninyo sa Google chat para ma-record yung attendance nyo ngayon. Okay. So, pag wala nang tanong, again, quiz ninyo next meeting. That's on Wednesday. So, announce ko na lang sa Google Class. Google Class. So, pag wala nang tanong, thank you guys for listening for this afternoon's discussion. And goodbye, class. Ingat kayo.
Goodbye, ma'am.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, ma'am.
Goodbye. Sige, ingat kayo. Okay, for the last example, a 4.8 kilogram bucket of water A 4.8 kilogram bucket of water is accelerated upward by a cord of negligible mass whose braking strength is 75 newtons. If the bucket starts from rest, what is the minimum time required to raise the bucket at a vertical distance of 12 meters without breaking the cord? So for free body diagram, lagay na natin dito. Again, since present naman yung mass ng bucket of water, which is 4.8, again, that is the f of g here, downwards. Also, may na-mention dito na breaking strength ng cord. Okay, so pag sinabi natin na breaking strength ng cord, that is actually the maximum force na kayang ibigay ng mismong cord when it comes to tension force or tensional force. So ito yun, 75 newtons. Now, if the bucket starts from rest, so let's say nandito yung bucket natin, and di ba, yung movement nito ay upward. So, ibig sabihin ang acceleration natin ay papataas. Or yung motion mismo ay papataas. What is the minimum time required to raise the bucket at a vertical distance of 12 meters? So, let's say from this up until here is equivalent to, let's say this is 12 meters without breaking the cord. So, ibig sabihin, we are going to use the maximum capacity of the cord, which is 75 newtons.
So, pagdating dito, since meron naman na tayong mass, okay, we're going to solve for time. So, using your kinematic equation, delta x is equal to initial velocity times time plus 1/2 acceleration times time squared. Delta x is yung ina-achieve natin na 12 meters. Initial velocity is 0, so these terms will be neglected. So delta x is equal to 1/2 acceleration sa y-axis times time squared. But we are solving for time. So we are going to, meron tayong 2 delta x equal to a times t squared. Or t is equal to the square root of 2 delta x divided by acceleration. However, wala pang acceleration. So using the summation of forces sa y-axis, yan ay hindi zero kasi may motion. So yan ay mass times acceleration. Ang mass natin ay mass ng bucket of water, let's say mass of B, tapos yung acceleration na sinasolve. But for the summation of forces sa y-axis, yan ang equivalent sa, since papataas yung motion, positive yung acceleration doon, walang magbabago sa signs. F of t, positive. And then negative yung weight. So, ibig sabihin, ang mass of the bucket of water multiplied to A equals sa value ng tension force at yung weight. Or, solving for acceleration, we have tension force, 75 newtons. Ang weight natin ay mass times gravitational acceleration. Or weight ito ng bucket of water, 4.8 multiplied to gravitational acceleration 9.81. This is all divided by, this is mass ng bucket of water, this is 4.8. Or, solving for acceleration, it is equal to 5.815 meters per second squared. So, newtons kasi to, tapos ito naman kilograms, ito meters per second squared. Kaya newtons divided by kilograms, we have meters per second squared. Now, that is the acceleration that you're going to use kapag magsasolve ka na ng time. So, solving for time, we have the square root of twice the displacement na ina-achieve natin, which is 12 meters, divided by acceleration, or that is 5.8150 meters per second squared. Meters will cancel out, and the second squared, ina-extract natin yung root. So, time now is equal to positive negative 2.0316 seconds. Pero syempre, pag i-evaluate ninyo yung answer na to, ang kukunin mong answer dyan ay yung positive 2.0316 seconds. Okay? Kasi wala namang time na negative. Okay? So, syempre, yun tayo sa time. So, that is the minimum time required in order for us to raise the bucket of water at a vertical distance of 12 meters. So, please don't forget your quiz next meeting, and for your review, you answer the assignment. Okay? Ito pala. Okay, last na talaga na example. Example number 7. A 68.5 kilogram skater moving initially at 2.5 meters per second on a rough horizontal ice comes to rest uniformly in 3.25 seconds due to friction from ice. Okay, now what force does this friction exert on the skater? So for our free body diagram, 3.5 velocity. Okay, so starting with my velocity daw ito na 2.5 meters per second. Initial velocity. And then, it comes to rest. Okay, so ibig sabihin, after some time, yung final velocity dito magiging 0. Yun ay after the time, nakalagay dito, 3.25 seconds. Meron namang mass yung skater, so walang problema doon sa weight ng mismong skater. So for the analysis, we have final velocity is equal to VI plus acceleration times time. My final velocity, 0, initial acceleration unknown, and we have time. So solving for acceleration, we have the difference between the velocities divided by the time. So acceleration now of the skater is 0 minus 2 or yes, 2.5 meters per second divided by the time 3.25 seconds. Or acceleration is negative 0.7692 meters per second squared. Second squared kasi yun. So ano bang ibig sabihin ng negative acceleration na to? Kung mapapansin nyo naman that from 2.5 meters per second tapos naging 0 yung velocity nito, ibig sabihin nag-decelerate. Okay? So, magre-reflect din yan later on kapag inintindi mo na or let's say sinolve mo na yung value ng frictional force. Yung frictional force natin dyan is the one or that is the force that is opposite the motion of the skater. So kung yung motion ng skater is going to the right, then you are expecting na ang frictional force natin ay yung opposite nito. Or if we have the mass times acceleration, we have the frictional force as mass ng skater is 68.5 kilograms multiplied to acceleration na negative 0.7692 meters per second squared. The frictional force is computed as negative 52.6902 newtons. Okay, so ibig sabihin ng negative na yan is its direction. Okay? Ang tawag dito? Direction lang naman yan. So kapag sinabi na ang value or let's say magnitude ng frictional force, 52.6902 newtons lang. I think magre-reflect yan sa summation of forces. Let's see. Summation of forces sa x-axis. Yan ay hindi equal to 0 but that is mass times acceleration. That the summation of forces sa x-axis ay equal sa negative frictional force. So, ibig sabihin ang MA ay equal sa negative frictional force. Okay? Yan. Kaya kapag plug-in mo yan, tignan nyo. We have a value, di ba? Pag pinag-multiply mo yung mass na 68, ito, tapos yung negative na acceleration, ang lalabas dyan ay negative na value. Tapos naka-equate pa yan, di ba? Negative 52.6902 newtons. Naka-equate yan sa negative frictional force. So, ibig sabihin, yung value lang mismo or yung magnitude lang ng frictional force ay equivalent sa 52 or positive 52.6902 newtons. Again, the signs here only indicate the direction. Okay? Pag magnitude lang, ito yung force na kailangan mo. Okay? Or kumbaga, ganyan kalakas, 52 newtons kalakas yung friction ina-experience nung skater natin. Okay, so last na talaga yan. Again, don't forget your quiz and you answer your assignment. So, thank you.